there's always things that people are trying to hide. So I think one thing I learned with Arianna is just to be patient with her and to be patient with people in general, because they tend to show who they really are in the end.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Fiske with PopCulture.com, and today we are talking to Nathanya Alexander about the HBO Max show Generation. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah, of course. So what was it about Generation that drew you to the project?
When I first read the script, I was immediately drawn into this world, and I immediately was obsessed with all of the characters. They each were unapologetic and so bold, and I loved how hilarious the script was.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about how funny it was, because I feel like so many teen shows today kind of veer more towards like darker, and then not that the content matter isn't dark, but it's really funny.
Yeah, especially with Arianna. It was a surprise to read a lot of her lines, because she's so funny, but at the same time she can be extremely harsh. And I fell in love with her character as well, just how bold she was and unapologetic. And the interesting about her is that she has an arc throughout the season where you get to see her, who she really is, and her vulnerability.
Yeah, definitely. You know, at the beginning, she's a pretty problematic character, but she grows so much over the course of the show so far. And you kind of realize that her edgy jokes like really mask a lot of insecurity.
Yes.
What do you hope people take away from that sort of character development?
I think that it's easy to judge a character when you first meet them.
Sure.
And for anyone, it's easy to judge anyone when you meet them, but there's always things behind that. There's always things that people are trying to hide. So I think one thing I learned with Arianna is just to be patient with her and to be patient with people in general, because they tend to show who they really are in the end.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I really loved about Generation was the idea of found family and how that was so important to the characters on the show. Why do you think that's such a big part of life for Gen Z in particular?
I think it's very important because Gen Z is sometimes misunderstood, and they find, common ground with their peers, and they find family within their peers, because there's things that your friends would understand and not your parents.
Right.
And you see that happen a lot with Arianna. She gravitates towards her girlfriends and DNA, because her home life with her fathers are not, their relationship are not as strong. So she gravitates towards her friends for that protection and that bond.
Yeah. What was your favorite part so far about playing Arianna? Was there a particular scene that sticks out for you?
Yeah, I love the classroom sequences, especially getting all of the characters in one room and working off of my castmates. It was incredible. It was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that I noticed about the show was the use of fashion in terms of characterization. Like, you can tell who these characters are, by the clothes that they wear and their makeup and their hair. Is the idea of your look as a form of expression, is that something that you enjoy and something that you relate to?
Absolutely. As soon as I get into Arianna's pink outfits and her layers and her amazing hair, I'm in the world of Generation. And I think the fashion, the music, all of that ties into this world. And it for me as an actor, it really helps because it grounds me in the world and in the character.
Yeah, definitely. So the season is wrapping up soon. What can fans expect from the last 4 episodes?
Oh man, it's going to be dramatic.
Yeah.
I think people are going to cry watching. People are going to scream. They might pull their hair out. A lot unfolds. And leading up to the finale, there's a lot of issues that the characters don't address. And in the finale, everything gets addressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should there be a season 2, where do you hope to see Arianna go?
I absolutely hope we get a second season. The season, even though there are issues that are addressed in the finale, there are a lot of things that there's cliffhangers, and you don't really know where the characters go, but there's endless opportunity. And I think that for Arianna, definitely other friendships she might try to explore, because her girlfriends ditch her, as we know, to go to the dance with a guy. So she has to find different relationships, and I think she might go on a journey, a deeper journey, to find who she really is.
Yeah, well, I really hope we get to see that. So I read that before booking Generation, you were mentoring Film Academy students and working with a theater company to sort of teach students about acting and the craft. What was it about that type of volunteering that really appealed to you?
Working with kids is always amazing, especially in the arts, because not only can I teach them what I've learned throughout the years, but they teach me as well. They teach me how to keep my imagination open, and they teach me what it is to be a kid again and to explore. And you use all of that in acting a lot. A lot of acting is exploring and, living in imaginary circumstances. So like that experience with kids has been just a treat and a award for me.
Yeah, I bet. I also wanted to ask about your work in Ocean's 8. What was it like sharing the screen with such an iconic cast, particularly Rihanna? I mean, how could I not ask about working with Rihanna?
Yeah, she was just amazing. I've grown up watching each one of them, and they inspire me, and they're my idols. So sharing a screen with them was just a dream come true. They're all amazing. They all gave me great advice that I will carry with me throughout my career. And it was just a dream come true to be on the same set as those amazing icons.
Yeah, I bet. So another question I wanted to ask, just as kind of like a way for our readers to get to know you a little bit, I've been asking people what they've sort of done to pass the time this past year in quarantine. Did you develop any hobbies, or did you, learn anything new about yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty much a homebody, so I kind of enjoyed it. I did a lot of binging. I cooked a lot. I did a lot of bike riding, and yeah, I just sat with myself a lot and got to know myself more, and definitely connected with family and friends.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I cannot wait to see the rest of the season.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.